Do you want to absolutely hate 3D printing? Do you enjoy watching prints fail? Do you love constant disappointment and frustration? Well, have I got a printer for you. With features such as an industry-leading nothing sticks bed surface, it's amazing. Also has an automatic leveling bed that never is actually level. What? Because why spend time creating when you could spend time troubleshooting? Even if you do get something to stick to this bed, it'll detach itself mid-print with no assistance required. Hurry up and get yours today. Let me just say, I am so glad that those years are behind us. Let's go over some of the printer options out there. That way you can figure out what style of printer is best for your use case. There are so many different types. It really depends on what you need. So whether you're just getting into 3D printing or you're looking at maybe doing an upgrade, this video should help you decide what way you want to go. I hope you find it helpful. So let's look at some of these printer options. So this printer style is what's known as a bed slinger. They're a great entry point into printing, but they do have their limitations. So because it doesn't have an enclosure, you're going to be limited to printing PLA, PETG, and TPU because it can't get up to the required heated volume that it needs for the higher temperature materials like ABS, ASA, nylon, things like that. Also, taller items have issues sometimes with bed slingers because of all that movement. A lot of times they can tip whenever they start going. To give Anycubic credit on this printer, I'm sure they've gotten much better since the Cobra 3 version 1. I think the version 2 is much better, and now they have the new Cobra X, which looks to be great. Other channels have reviewed it, and it looks like they're having a great time using it, unlike this one. So a few years ago, printers started getting a lot easier to use, which made the hobby a lot more accessible to more people. The P1S is a workhorse. It always works well, and you can put thousands of hours on these without much of an issue. They can also run the higher temperature filaments because of the enclosed build. This one, Biqu sent over some products for me to try out. This one's been pimped out with a Panda Jetpack, the new purple cool plate, and the Panda Diaper. So if filament or scraps falls down into the bottom, you can just pick it up and then dump that in the trash. There are plenty of options for enclosed CoreXY printers, and there's plenty of options for the bed slinger style of printers. So here we have the Biqu Centauri Carbon. It is an enclosed single color printer that will let you do some of the engineering type builds on it. It can be a great value option if you just want to print in a single color. So what about if you want to step up to multicolor, but you don't want to break the bank going all in on a very expensive machine? That's where printers like the Flashforge AD5X comes in. Flashforge sent me this AD5X for me to check out. I honestly wasn't sure what to expect at its price point. It's right around $330, I believe, right now, which is insanely cheap for a multicolor printer. Once it got here and I started setting it up, I realized it seems like a pretty decent little platform. It's got an all metal body, which is nice to see. Normally at this price point, you'd expect to see plastic, but I was expecting to have kind of some of the fails that I had before from using lower price printers. I'm gonna be completely honest, that was not the case with this at all. It has printed perfect since day one. Does it have its limitations? Sure. I mean, this one's open, so of course you can't do any of the higher temp materials, but for PLA, PETG, this is a great entry point into multicolor printing. I haven't had problems with prints sliding off the bed. Everything sticks well. It actually prints really well. Some of these fidgets that I printed up actually printed better on this than they did on my machines that cost many times more than this one. As soon as they came off the printer, its eyes would move, everything rotated perfectly. Whenever my big machines, I had to do quite a bit of work to get them to free up to move. So that is an awesome thing with this. For its price, I have been nothing but impressed with this machine. If you're looking at getting into multicolor printing, this is a great place to start. I'll have a link in the description where you can go check it out. Whenever I get in a new printer, I like to do something like this. If you've ever printed something like this, then you know what I'm talking about. The tolerances are very tight for mechanical parts that need to move. Everything worked perfectly. As soon as I put it all together, no messing with it, no trimming, nothing like that. It just worked, and it worked great. So I am very happy with their performance from this. I would say at this price point, they knocked it out of the park. And then there's dual extruder printers like the H2D. It's great for engineering type filaments. It's my go-to. If something has two colors, I like to send it to this machine because it has less waste that way. You can use the AMS unit with it and you can do more than two colors, of course, but you're gonna have quite a bit of waste to deal with. Typically, if it has more than two colors, it goes to one of my other machines like the Snapmaker U1. It's a tool changer. It has 4 different colors that you can do on it, so you are limited to 4 colors. It's really quick and it's really fast to run prints with 4 or less colors on that machine. The U1 is a great machine if you want to run multicolor prints and not have so much waste. So if you want to run more than 4 colors or engineering type filaments, the Bambu Lab H2C is my go-to for that. With its vortex system, it can swap out up to 7 colors without having all the waste. If you go beyond that, then it has to waste again because it's got to purge out, but it's got 7 different nozzles that you can use between the left and the right extruder. It's got 6 in the vortex system and 1 on the left side nozzle. So if you're printing a whole lot of multicolor, an H2C would be worth a look, but they are pretty spendy. It just depends on what your needs are and if you can justify that kind of an expenditure. So every printer for me has a purpose. I just pulled these off of the H2D and the H2C. The bathtub I ran on the H2D because it's 2 colors. It's the white and the silver. And then I ran the part with the toaster, the bread, the bubbles, and the water. I ran that in the H2C because it has more than 2 colors. Everything has their place for me. Running these was quick and easy. And now I've got these fun little clickers to hand out to people that I know. Of course, there's resin printers, and that's a totally different world. If you want to make miniatures or things that need ultra fine details, resin may be your go-to. You can achieve amazing results with resin, although there's a lot more that comes along with that. It's not quite as friendly of a process. There's the fumes, you don't want to get it on your skin, you got to deal with all the rubbing alcohol. It's a very cool technology, but there's a lot that comes along with that. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked what you saw here, please consider liking and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.